Coming up now on your all AEW edition of your spoiler-free wrestling news rundown, we've got an update on the situation involving Thunder Rosa and Marina Shafir. Also, Tony Khan has commented on the possibility of an AEW streaming service, and we've also got all the news coming out of Dynamite this week. Subscribe to Spoiler-Free Wrestling for all your wrestling news. In a previous video, we noted that Thunder Rosa was being accused of sandbagging her opponent Marina Shafir in their match on AEW Dynamite last week. This all got going in a Reddit thread where it was noted that both Britt Baker and Marina Shafir liked the tweet that is up on your screen now by Eric in Sarasota. He wrote, "It's been a long time since I've seen a match where somebody so obviously tried to make themselves look better than their opponent by sandbagging and no-selling, but I just saw a perfect example of it on Dynamite." Later, Marina Shafir also liked this tweet, which is also up on your screen now, where Eric in Sarasota wrote, "It might just look like a bad match to the untrained eye, but it's pretty clear when somebody doesn't want to play ball, which sucks because it just makes you and your opponent look bad." So it's not clear if Thunder Rosa was actually intentionally sandbagging Marina Shafir during the match, but it appears that the two have made up. Thunder Rosa posted the following to Twitter, that's up on your screen now, featuring Thunder Rosa and Marina Shafir sitting together and both with their hands on a loaf of bread, I guess to say that they have broken bread together. And I thought this was a really classy message from Thunder Rosa. She wrote, "Today we take responsibility and work on being better, because at the end of the day we break bread. Two mothers navigating a world where we are both never-ending learners." So I thought this was a really classy move by Thunder Rosa. It's more or less saying, I'm not saying I did anything wrong, but if I did, we're both learning from it. That kind of thing. So it appears that any backstage heat which might have existed between the two has now been squashed. There isn't much new to report regarding the situation involving Jeff Hardy. He, of course, was arrested for driving under the influence earlier this week. It was announced by AEW President and CEO Tony Khan that Jeff Hardy has been suspended indefinitely from the company without pay. And here is the statement that Tony Khan released to media. He wrote, "We were able to resume contact with Jeff Hardy this afternoon. AEW does not condone Jeff's alleged behavior. We've made it clear to Jeff that we'll assist him in getting treatment for substance abuse issues, which he has indicated that he's open to receiving. In the interim, he is suspended without pay, and he can only return to AEW upon successfully completing treatment and maintaining his sobriety." And so obviously the Hardy boys were removed from the triple threat ladder match that had been scheduled for Dynamite. It ended up being just Jurassic Express defending the titles against the Young Bucks. Matt Hardy took to Twitter to write his thoughts on being removed from that match. Hardy just wrote, "Watching this AEW Dynamite ladder match between the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express very closely. I'm very disappointed I'm not in this match in front of this fantastic St. Louis crowd. I promise I'll bounce back." Tony Khan recently was interviewed by comicbook.com, and he said a few things, actually, that are fairly notable. One of the first things he mentioned is that he hopes the Forbidden Door pay-per-view will become an annual event for both AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. When asked on the subject, Khan said, "Yeah, I think we are hoping that's what it'll become." Khan also clarified some things about the All-Atlantic Championship. If you notice in the tournament brackets, it is all wrestlers from outside the United States. However, Khan noted that the title won't be exclusive to international wrestlers, and wrestlers from the United States will be able to challenge for it as well. Khan said, "So for the international fans and for the international wrestlers on the roster, I felt like it would create more opportunities. But I also don't think that this title or these opportunities are exclusive to the international wrestlers, but it's a big benefit of the term." Khan would later talk about the possibility of AEW developing a streaming service similar to the WWE Network. On that topic, Khan said, "As we've developed more content, growing the library, I think, and the demand has grown for a variety of reasons. I think all the stars are aligning. AEW as a streaming service has more potential value in the future. And then the purchase of Ring of Honor, now to have access to one of the best wrestling libraries in North America with some of today's top stars and some of the top stars in the past few decades. And those thousands of hours of Ring of Honor footage in conjunction with the hundreds of hours of AEW footage we've assembled and continue to assemble on a weekly basis, week in, week out, and the growing demand from our fans. I think all these factors contribute to why this would be a great time for AEW to launch a streaming service. And it's a conversation that I've had and continue to actively have with Warner Brothers Discovery, who are one of the worldwide leaders in streaming and sports content. AEW did present an episode of Dynamite on Wednesday evening from St. Louis. Here are the main bullet points you should know from that show. In the opening contest, Chris Jericho defeated Ortiz in a hair versus hair match thanks to outside interference from Sammy Guevara, who was dressed as Fuego del Sol at the time, and it would later be revealed that Sammy Guevara has joined the Jericho Appreciation Society, so Jericho and Sammy Guevara reunited once again. In the second segment, we saw Wardlow defeat 21 security guards, and as a result, the class action lawsuit launched by Smart Mark Sterling has been officially thrown out of court. Will Ospreay defeated Dax Harwood in an excellent match, and then after, several wrestlers made a run-in to confront the United Empire. Orange Cassidy, who hasn't wrestled since AEW Revolution in March, confronted Ospreay, and it was later confirmed that Orange Cassidy will challenge Will Ospreay at the Forbidden Door for the IWGP United States Championship. Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi had a stare-down that led to several more run-ins and the announcement of a trios match at Forbidden Door, which will pit Minoru Suzuki, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara against Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. Miro defeated Ethan Page to advance to the All-Atlantic match at Forbidden Door. He joined Pac as the only two wrestlers to have qualified for the four-way match thus far. Toni Storm defeated Britt Baker, avenging her loss to her in the semi-finals of the Owen Hart tournament. After the match, Thunder Rosa came out and stared down Storm. It was later announced that those two will meet at the Forbidden Door with the AEW Women's World Championship on the line. Hangman Page cut a promo and was interrupted by Adam Cole. During this segment, Cole revealed that Kazuchika Okada will not be at the Forbidden Door. He then revealed that Jay White was there. White appeared behind Hangman Page, laid him out with the Blade Runner, and then said he wouldn't be giving Page a title match at the Forbidden Door. But he also told Cole that he wasn't getting that match either. So who knows what is happening with the IWGP World Championship at the Forbidden Door. And then in the main event, the Young Bucks defeated Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to win the AEW World Tag Team Championships for a second time. This was a ladder match, and then following the match, Christian finally turned on Jungle Boy, giving him the unprettier and a concerto to end the show. AEW Rampage will air on Friday night in its normal time slot. 4 matches and 1 segment have been announced for the show. We will see Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee in a segment, so we will see what's going on with those two ever since Swerve eliminated Keith Lee from the Casino Battle Royale last week. The Gun Club and Max Caster will team up to take on Bear Country and Leon Ruff. The TBS champion Jade Cargill will defend against Willow Nightingale. Darby Allin will face Bobby Fish, and Jon Moxley will be in action against Dante Martin. AEW will present Dynamite from Milwaukee, Wisconsin next week. So far, just 2 matches have been confirmed for that show. We will see the All-Atlantic Championship qualifying match pitting Penta Oscuro against Malachi Black. And we will see the United Empire team up to take on Orange Cassidy and Roppongi Vice. And we have the following matches confirmed for the AEW NJPW Forbidden Door pay-per-view on Sunday, June 26th from Chicago's United Center. Those matches are Minoru Suzuki, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara facing Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. The AEW All-Atlantic Championship match, which will see Pac versus Miro versus 2 wrestlers to be determined. For the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, Will Ospreay defends against Orange Cassidy. For the AEW Women's World Championship, Thunder Rosa defends against Toni Storm, and for the interim AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. And that's going to do it for this video, everyone. Make sure you are subscribed to Spoiler Free Wrestling for all your wrestling news.